1996, one of the greatest games of all time is introduced to the world. Almost synonymous with the definition of nostalgia for millennials and Gen Z alike, Pokémon quickly became one of the top-earning franchises in the world. From games, shows, movies, trading cards, toys, you name it, Pokémon captured the hearts of children everywhere and held on with an iron grip. The original game was iconic. You catch, build, and train a team of lovable Pokémon to face off against any friend, foe, or mystic danger that the world presents to you. Although limited in their pixel resolution, the games and the Pokémon within felt as real as you could imagine. Now fast forward to 2016. Technology and culture have evolved, and so has the world of Pokémon. As summer came upon us, so did a new, revolutionary form of the classic gotta catch 'em all style game. The first official mobile game for the franchise, Pokémon Go is an augmented reality, GPS-based game that sends players out into the real world to reunite with their favorite Pokémon. Again, the phenomenon struck. Within 80 days of its launch, the game had more than 550 million installs and $470 million in revenue, and was the only thing that people were doing or talking about all summer.
I don't know who created Pokémon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokémon go to the polls.
Hell, even my mom, an outspoken dissenter of video games, was joining in, even initiating the local gym heists and daily Pokéstop runs. The free-to-play mobile game was easily accessible, even to those who weren't the majority of returning Pokémon fans, as everyone knows how to use a GPS and how to take pictures using your camera's phone. Therefore, the basic features of the app are already second nature to users. While GPS and AR weren't new, exciting concepts for gaming or mobile apps, the power combo of nostalgia and hype for the first real-life Pokémon experience was unmatched. And by the time millions of players were venturing into the great outdoors that summer, it almost felt like the dream of that experience had truly come to life. Everywhere you went, you could spot people playing along with you. Whether it was someone calling out, "There's a Squirtle over here!" or a group of teenagers standing outside a movie theater trying to capture a gym, fellow players were constantly engaging with each other in public spaces. Through the game, there was a connectedness to both the real world and the people participating. It felt like a pseudo-world peace moment, and it was freaking awesome. But while people who experienced its glory could sing its praises all day, there was plenty of opposition to the game. As a New York Times article described, walking around New York this weekend felt like being in an episode of Black Mirror. People were wandering around with their heads in their phones, more than usual. From people distractedly walking into stuff, people and oncoming traffic, to kids accidentally finding a dead body while on the hunt for that sweet, sweet Dratini, the connectedness, for some, was only a sea of people glued to their phones. And let's be honest, the gameplay was not as amazing as it was made out to be by the trailers. The catching element was definitely there, with a lot of the game's appeal coming from chasing down that elusive Pokémon out in the wild. But some of the other beloved game elements, such as training and battling, were not as well executed. Instead of the long-lasting commitment of raising your caught Pokémon all the way up from level 1, Pokémon Go's Pokémon are caught in large quantities and must be offered up to what we referred to as the grinder, a game mechanic where you toss out extra Pokémon to have them turned into candies, which are the cannibalistic-like fuel for leveling up your Pokémon. No longer was it an experience of your first caught Pokémon becomes your best friend, but rather, whichever one had the highest stats and best moveset was good enough, because there's like 50 more of that exact same Nidoran down the street at the 7-Eleven. Then, once your selected Pokémon were beefed up and ready for battle, the gym and raid events were lackluster, as you simply tap on your phone screen repeatedly to spam your whopping 2 moves at a CPU. Don't get me wrong, battling to catch a Rayquaza with a whole horde of people by your side was exhilarating, but it was no wonder that the game would eventually fall off in popularity from these limiting mechanics. There was nothing wrong with the game's technology. It had its technical hiccups every now and again, But what actually caused its rapid decline in use after the summer of 2016 was its failure to deliver upon the dream that was Pokemon in real life. As a kid growing up playing Pokemon, I would constantly imagine a world where Pokemon really existed, where people would go out and be a part of the world with their favorite Pokemon right at their side. It was a dream that felt just out of reach for our reality, and trying to deliver that through a single phone screen is a tall order to fulfill. I mean, this is pretty cute and all, but it's still just me awkwardly posing with an invisible fire dog outside of a Polo outlet. This is all to say that technology will never be enough. In her book, Always On You, The Tethered Self, Sherry Turkle, professor of the Social Studies of Science and Technology at MIT, examines the inseparable relationship we have developed with technology. We are witnessing a new form of sociality in which the connectedness that matters is determined by our distance from working communications technology. Increasingly, what people want out of public spaces is that they offer a place to be private with their tethering technologies. In another book of hers, Alone Together, Turkle further describes this paradox that is our attachment to technology. In short, the phones we use to stay connected with everyone and everything all the time are, in reality, most isolating and damaging to our ability to have real human connection. And the sad truth is, there's no getting rid of all these tethers. In the 1990s, Turkle observed a group of young students who carried computers and radio transmitters in their backpacks, keyboards in their pockets, and digital displays embedded in their eyeglass frames. Always on the internet, they called themselves cyborgs. Booyah! With smartphones all but glued to our hands today, we've already become cyborgs. Our technological life has become inseparable from our organic life. But even amidst this depressing reality, there was a brief and shining exception for Pokemon Go. Naysayers may continue to turn up their noses at games like Pokemon, but it's undeniable that Pokemon Go did what so many athletic apps and dumb kids programs like Nickelodeon's Stop Watching Us for Once and Actually Go Outside failed at. Pokemon Go players, people from all walks of life, were actually getting out there, fostering their sense of adventure and meeting new people. Pokemon Go was said to help alleviate depression as it facilitated face-to-face socialization, outdoor physical activity, and exposure to nature, all of which are essential to mental health. The sensation was short-lived, but the realization that we can still find connection to the world around us through a game is not to be discounted. Pokemon in real life is the dream, the ideal form of a beloved childhood game. Our technology will only keep getting better, so maybe there's a possibility of real Pokemon in the future. But there was something so enticing, so incredible, about a, albeit faulty game that was just able to bring people outside and together. Pokemon Go was a phenomenon that was able to capture the true essence of what we all wish from a Pokemon in real life kind of world. The adventure, the community, and the friendship that only the best Pokemon trainers out there are able to find.